Emberstone. There is definitely a lot of tension here with tourists, problems with tourism in correlation with higher cost of living and more issues for the locals living here. Really try to respect and honor, the city that was formed here and the history and the people, because the people make the city. I'm not trying to offend anybody, just trying to be honest and make this an open discussion for how we can find a solution towards this. It's a tough situation, but I hope things really do get better in the future. There is definitely a lot of tension here with tourists, problems with tourism in correlation with higher cost of living and more issues for the locals living here. Really try to respect and honor, the city that was formed here and the history and the people, because the people make the city. I'm not trying to offend anybody, just trying to be honest and make this an open discussion for how we can find a solution towards this. It's a tough situation, but I hope things really do get better in the future.
This is a warning to anyone traveling to Europe this summer. We were assaulted in Barcelona, and I think it's because we're Asians. We only had 2 nights planned in Barcelona because we're only here to catch a cruise over to Malta. And before coming, we had known and we had heard about the over-tourism, the anti-tourism sentiment from the locals. And we totally understand because we're from Thailand. We have over-tourism as well. So we were coming out of a Van Cleef store on La Rambla. It was like the main
shopping street
of Barcelona. We were heading straight to our hotel room because we didn't want to have valuables on our hand. It was just a short walk, around like 5 minutes.
Yep.
But it was a very, very crowded road. Obviously, tons of tourists, locals walking and shopping along the street.
We were waiting to cross the road, and as soon as we were just about to cross, a man kicked me right on my leg. It was quite a hard kick, because at first I thought no one was going to walk around and then kick someone that hard, just, randomly.
So we were stunned.
So I was a bit confused.
Yeah.
And as soon as I turned around, he slapped me right across the face. Obviously, I was shocked.
The entire crowd around the street was shocked. Everyone turned around and was like, what the hell is going on?
It was quite a tall man. He was white, yay high.
And I'm pretty tall for an Asian. I'm like 180.
Yep. He was kind of middle-aged.
Came with his wife. So he started yelling at you.
He said, "You stepped on my wife's foot." And I said, "I'm obviously sorry. And if I had, it was an accident. I didn't mean to step on anyone's foot that hard."
And we were walking and I didn't even realize that you had stepped on or touched or bumped into anyone.
You would usually know if you did kick someone that hard to be a problem.
Yeah. Naturally, it's very easy to bump into people on such a crowded street. So you guys were just yelling back and forth, but he was shocked as well, I think, because he didn't expect 2 Asians to speak perfect English and to fight back.
But he was quite aggressive, so I had to bring out the knuckles, Muay Thai, against the Spaniard.
Way to be stereotypical.
Because I learned martial arts. And
Every Thai knows Muay Thai, apparently.
I had a baton with me, which I bought from the Picasso store, and I was planning to use it against him. And I think that's where he was stunned. And he was kind of like, okay, maybe I shouldn't mess with this small Asian man. Because I was actually gonna really fight him.
I think the reason that he approached you in such a way was because he thought or he saw us as easy targets. 2 demure Asians, of course they're not gonna fight back. They're probably Chinese tourists who don't even know any English.
So after a bit of shouting and cursing, he did back down and he kind of walked away with his wife. I did call him a big though.
And this wasn't our only incident of the day. We were almost robbed our entire bag that same morning. And last year I was here, I also almost got robbed, and you got robbed as well. Moral of the story is, if you're traveling to Europe, especially if you're Asian, you have to be very vigilant and careful, and you have to stay safe.
Anti-tourism in Spain is real.
And I would like to add as well, as Asians, we're usually viewed as very demure, easy victims, but we have to also stand up for ourselves.
So fight back, learn Muay Thai, and good luck.
Good luck, stay safe, guys.
Refugees welcome! We're at the Arc de Triomphe in Barcelona, and you know how they've been like hating on tourists? I'm pretty sure this guy is literally just standing here to purposely be in the way of people's photos, like 100%. Let me show you. So here's the Arc, and this is where most people are pulling up trying to get a photo right here, and this guy has literally just been standing here for 10 minutes since we got here, like not moving. He's not with anyone. He's 100% just standing here to be in the way of people's photos. Like, come on. 100% is purposely standing in the way of people's photos. Like, people are trying to get their photos here, and then, nope, that's just this bro. And I could be wrong, maybe that's not what he's doing, but that's where he was standing the entire time, not smiling, not interacting, literally just standing in the same position. I'm like, that's literally how he's spending his Saturday.
It's like beautiful outside, 70 and sunshine, and I don't know. That's not how I would spend my Saturday, but
Literally just trying to stand there to ruin tourist pictures.
yeah, literally, that's
Kind of
all.
messed up.
Barcelona relies on tourism but hates tourists. With protests and violence seen around the city, visiting Barcelona may have varying experiences. But summer 2024, the anger of the citizens got out of control so much to the point where visitors were greeted with hostility. And Barcelona makes close to $10 billion a year on tourism alone. And while there are issues with over-tourism, such as housing and possible price surges, without tourism, many workers would be without a job. The cities complain about a surge of visitors coming and leaving, but seemingly ignore the rise in illegal immigrants entering and causing their own set of problems. So basically, only speak Catalan and be from Barcelona to stay in their city. Unless you're a refugee, then do whatever the heck you want.
Okay, what is happening in Spain right now? If you plan on visiting Spain at all this year, you might want to know about this before you go. Because Spain is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, there have been record number of tourists visiting every single year. It's gotten to the point where locals are saying they've had enough. I remember last year, anti-tourism protests broke out all over Spain in hotspots like Barcelona, Mallorca, and Ibiza. Well, it's happening again this year.
This is just so funny because I made a video when I was in Barcelona being like, oh, this place is kind of horrible, right? And if you look in the comments of this video, it's hella people that live there or lived there or other tourists agreeing. They think the place is soulless, right? They think tourism has made the place soulless. And it's so funny because the people in Barcelona were like squatting tourists with water guns, saying we hate tourists, blah, 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 blah. And they were commenting on my TikTok being like, don't come back, we don't want you here. And the thing is, the problem is twofold. One, it's not the fault of the tourist, right? It's not the fault of the tourist for coming to a country to visit that is popular with tourism, right? The problem is you have governments that don't give a flying fuck about you. They don't care about you. And they are allowing tourists to come, drive up prices and ruin your culture. So all of you lot are in my comments being like, yeah, tourists don't come back. Do you have the same energy for your elected officials that are selling you out? For what? I love Barcelona t-shirts. I'm so sorry. Like, the energy is so misdirected here. You, man, need to go and take up with your elected officials because none of this stuff is an accident. Tourism or the way that tourism ruins cultures doesn't just happen by accident. This is stuff that is allowed. This is stuff that can be prevented with policy. This is stuff that can be prevented if local people are working with governments and governments actually give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you.